All right, welcome to the CRollur and Willy podcast. I'm Willy.
And I'm CRollur.
And we're going to be talking about dick sizes.
Wow. I hope you mean on like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Baldur's Gate. We're going to go 50 minutes into dick sizes of customization. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but that is a level of character customization I wasn't expecting when I got into it.
Do you have anything you want to, say about, customization?
When I got into Baldur's Gate, like, there is so much, like, you could pick different races / species, since D&D is going with that term now. I don't know if I think Baldur's Gate still uses races. And then you got different classes, you get like different hairstyles, different faces, different body types, which are all things that are good for character customization.
Well, it is an RPG game, right? Role-playing game.
Yeah, and I think most role-playing games should have character customization. There are many reasons that it's a good thing. Like, for instance, like just inclusion, like the ability to choose your gender identity, your race, your sexuality, your body type, and other stuff like that, to be inclusive of all different types of people, but also like identification.
Yep.
Like, your character is your own character, whether you're making your own physical body in the game or some fantastical character that like you're playing a role, like role playing. You identify more with that character because you created them. You get to choose their actions.
The problem with me, I have like when I create a character, I have like no imagination how I want to make the character. I always did like random, and I'm like, all right, this is what my guy looks like. Every time I try to make a character, either my character looks stupidly like my characters always look stupid when I actually spend time to do it.
There are things I typically do for my characters. Even if they're like a fantastical version, they usually look a little bit like me. Long hair, darker hair. Although at this point they're graying, so I've added some grays to my freaking characters.
Oh, you're trying to make them look like you?
Kind of, but not entirely.
Okay.
I do make the characters a little darker sometimes. Like, I'm not trying to do blackface characterization, but tan, yes. I am fucking white.
Oh, so you're trying
like white. Like
I get what you're saying. Now, the only time
the couch is the only thing that's whiter than me.
The only time I actually spent time making a character when I was playing DC Universe, I was trying to make a character look like Captain Planet, and I spent about 3 hours to do that.
I mean, that's another reason to use character customization, is that you can play characters that you've been wanting to fantasize about playing about.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, pollution? Not on my watch.
That's that's part of what I was going to say about showing off. Is another point, like looking cool or having exclusive clothes and armor and stuff as part of the character customization. Like, a lot of people think of it just as like the starting character customization, but it also goes into like what armor you pick up, what gear, what clothes.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
When you pick up armor and you equip it, do you have it set where it don't show what armor you're wearing? What's that called?
That's called transmog. And I want to get into that a little later.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because that started, well, first of all, it's an old term, but it started
on Diablo.
What?
It started on Diablo, didn't it?
No, it started on World of Warcraft, from what I could tell.
Oh.
Anyways, we'll get into that in a little bit. I also kind of want to talk about another reason for character customization, which is just the experience of building a character. It looks like you could go either way on this one. Like, you just randomly make a character, or you spend hours making
Captain Planet.
And
the funny thing is, like, when I made that character, I didn't realize that when the villains on DC Universe seen my character, they're like, oh, we're going to beat the fuck out of this guy. And I would get jumped by like fucking like 5 or 8 villains. And I mean,
that's kind of the point of that game, though.
Then no one in the good guy side, you can either be a villain or a hero. No one on the heroes want to defend me, because they're like, that's Captain Planet. Like, fuck that guy.
But yeah, there's a lot of people who actually enjoy building a character like that, or building their own person, or building a fantasy version of themselves, or even something entirely different from themselves that they just want to play. That's one of the things I like about.
But sometimes when you customize a character, depending on how you customize your character, people might not like it.
People might not, but you will.
I will.
That's actually one of the reasons why, a character customization is good for gaming. When you customize your character, you enjoy it more. Like, there have been studies like done, and they've shown that people have more fun when playing a character they've customized it, like their own little avatar.
Yeah, but it's different when you're playing online and single player too. Am I right? Like sometimes it might be different depending on what mode you're playing on. Like it'd be single player. I think it'd be funner if you customize your character more, right?
Yeah, especially if you get to see them in cutscenes or you
Yeah.
get to look at them from a third person view. But even in games where they're mostly first person, just the fact that you identify with your character makes the perceived. Well, first of all, it makes you perceive that you're doing better than you are. Like the study I'm talking about, looking at the effects of customized avatars in gaming, and they noticed that people had more fun and perceived ability, meaning they perceive themselves to be better than when they don't use a customized avatar.
I know what you're saying now.
However, that doesn't mean that they actually did good. They found out there's no correlation to actually the avatar and their ability to play, but their perceived ability to play and how much fun they had playing it definitely changed.
Can you imagine if I was playing Rainbow Six Siege and I made a character look just like me and I, kill one person out of like the whole entire match? I'm going to be like, yeah, that was me. I did it.
I that might be possibly why people perceive that they did better or had more fun, because they feel, to me, this study sounds like it's proving
psychological.
That it's a psychological thing where you accomplish that rather than your character.
I actually agree with that.
So even if you only got one kill and somebody else got like 10,
I got one kill, 16 deaths, but I killed a guy, and that guy looked just like me.
The fun and experience were higher. The perceived performance was higher, but their actual performance stayed the same. So they just perceived that they did better.
Yeah, and I get your point, because like even games like 2K, Madden, you can do like a career thing, and actually do a screenshot in your face, and you can actually, make a character and do a career on that character with your face.
That's cool. I actually might get that then, because I've been looking for another game. As I said in the last podcast, I was looking for another football game that allows me to like create my own thing. I would do my own players, my own team.
Yeah, you can do all that. Like 2K started that, I think it was 2K. But
so what I've spoken a lot about why I think character customization is good. What's your opinion on it?
I actually enjoy it better when you have when you can customize a character. But the problem is they go too like in depth with it. Like just try to keep it simple. Like I don't want like my right arm being, like fucking 76 inches, and how you get my right arm or my other arm the same dimension as that. Then your fucking neck size and like the girth of your neck, your cheekbones, simple things like that.
So you think that that you like customization, but you want it to be simple?
Yeah, it's too.
I wonder
how high you want your eyebrows to be. That shit's crazy, dude.
I wonder if you would be willing to accept like a version where they have two different ones, like a basic customization and then expanded, because a lot of people like that customization.
I mean, I like it. It's just I don't like the complicated shit.
I'd just say like if they had a basic version and then like expanded options, like maybe they have like a build type and it just what your body, like how muscular your body is, and then if you click advanced options, you can then customize.
Yeah. That would actually work. Yeah,
because that would be the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it would be the best of both worlds. I would actually enjoy it better. Like me and you grew up in the 90s, right?
Yeah,
and I started with customization. I was playing a baseball game called Triple Play 98, and you're able to, make a character and just like put them in a random team, during like free.
For most of the games I played, the closest thing you got to customization was picking your character.
RuneScape, that's customization, but that was simple.
Yeah. But even before,
but you didn't really have much option with customization.
But even before RuneScape, there were games like Mario Kart and like Mario Kart had like different characters. Mortal Kombat had different characters, but you couldn't customize any of the characters. But there still was the ability to choose.
What really blows my mind is like the outfits. Like you can always purchase more outfits for your customized character too.
Yeah, and I go back and forth on this. Like I think that like having the ability to customize your character is great, but having it behind a paywall kind of sucks.
Games like Fortnite, you can't customize your character. You have to purchase the customization of your character.
Even then, I think a lot of them are just different characters. Like I've seen a lot of people play as like, what was it, Peter Griffin or?
Oh yeah, you Peter Griffin, and you got the chicken too. You got the chicken. That's not customization.
Wasn't there a Minecraft Steve skin at some point?
I just started playing not Minecraft. I just started playing Fortnite like 3 months ago.
Speaking of Minecraft has a customization.
I love Minecraft's customization.
There is a difference between the Java edition and the Bedrock edition, because the Bedrock edition, all customization is done through the store, which kind of sucks a little bit. Like you can customize your character, but a lot of all the items and skins and everything that you can do are all behind a paywall. Like there are very few options that aren't behind a paywall. You got like the basic free stuff. And when you go to Java edition, you literally can upload your own images.
Which version do you like better?
Personally, I like the Java edition, but unfortunately...
Isn't Bedrock the older one?
Java is the older one.
Oh, Java, okay.
Because the Java edition is based in PC and you can change the files unlike you can on a console, you can customize your character down to every pixel.
And you have Minecraft on your PC, your PlayStation, your Xbox, on every system you have.
Yes, you can.
But you have to purchase it every single time.
Unfortunately, yes.
Why the fuck you have to purchase it every single time?
Because each platform has a different licensing agreement.
Yeah, but it runs on Minecraft servers, right?
Yes, but think about it. PlayStation wants their cut. Xbox.
But now you got games that's like, cross-platform now. Like Call of Duty and stuff like that. But you got, run.
Yeah, and even in those games, you still have to pay per platform.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit.
Why do you think I don't have Baldur's Gate on PlayStation?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because I bought it for PC.
I got you now. That's fucking bullshit. Not only that, that's fucking bullshit.
What are some things that you think should be in character customization? What options do you think should be available?
With character customization, they should add more, to like clothing, more to like what's it called, accessories that you can wear, more than what they usually do instead of like having you to buy it.
I was thinking at the beginning, but even then, in the beginning, there is clothing options, but they're always limited. And you always end up getting the good stuff.
You're always going to look like a noob. No matter what. Like, you start a game, you're always going to look like a noob because you have to purchase.
The original Guild Wars actually have some really good starting outfits. But other than that, yeah, you're right. Most games, you can tell noob armor from basically.
Yeah, you can. Like, when you start RuneScape, you like get your first bronze armor and, you're like, oh, I look like a badass, look like a knight. But then people see you, you're like, oh, he's wearing bronze, noob.
But yeah, like a lot of what I was getting at were more the character customization options that a lot of people are looking for. Obviously, you got like the body type, whether that be muscular or skinny.
Yeah, but that's what I don't like about it is because you have to adjust it to like the way you want it to be. Then you have to adjust like every freaking.
See, I've already seen two different versions of this stuff. There are some where it's like body type A, B, C, D.
Yeah, that's what I like.
And then there are some where it's like how muscular dudes' pecs are.
You have to take your mouse.
How skinny the waist is.
Yeah, you have to take that fucking bar and go up or down, and just that.
Next thing there's the facial things where you can go from having eyes like so narrow that they're basically on their nose or out like on the fucking
See, that's what I don't like. That takes too much time.
They go up and down big.
I just want to play a game. That's why I'm not good with it. And that's why my characters always look stupid because I'm, trying to mess with it. Then after like an hour of messing with it, I was like, all right, I'm just going to deal with it. And the next thing you know, I got like a guy that's eyes like literally. But
I think going forward, there still needs to be some choices that are absolutely necessary.
Now with character customization, what I do like is skills.
I want to get just like starting the game character things that I think are absolutely necessary are things like gender and skin tone. Okay. And at least an option for body type, not maybe the hundreds of options that you get right now for some of them. Although, as I said, I think there could be a basic and advanced version. But like the gender thing, like gender roles and the skin tones and race and species thing, because I think that would be extremely inclusive without being exclusive. Because a lot of times, like there are some games where like a lot of times you get white characters, which suits me fine, but then there are no options for other people. But then you got other games where you got like a black antagonist or a female, and they are exclusive of everything else. Like Asians aren't included.
Huh.
Latinos aren't included. Having both like gender and skin tone and like the voice change, like body style or body type options makes it more inclusive of people without being exclusive of everybody else. Rather than sticking, oh, we're going to make it a black guy, we're going to make it an Asian, we're going to make him we're going to make the character a woman. Then you've excluded everybody that doesn't fit that category.
Yeah, basically.
And if it's a role-playing game, you get to play a role. You want to play whatever.
I want to be a fucking orc.
That's a good option too. Be an orc.
Yeah, and then you customize that.
Yeah,
I want my canine teeth on the bottom being like over hyping my fucking upper lip.
And recently, for me, I think age has been a thing.
Yeah, it has.
Because, like, most heroic characters are like always like either teenage or early 20s.
What about
the old heroes, the people that either got back into a heroic role or only found their purpose later in life? And I think the absolute minimum for any role-playing game is the customization of your name. If you can't name the character, then you're playing more of a linear story game than a role-playing game.
But like I said, like with the Baldur's Gate, it's different when you're playing online, than playing single player. If I was going to play single player, I'm just going to skip the customization and just do it all random. But if I'm going to be playing multiplayer, I would actually spend the time actually making my character look good.
Yeah, and that goes back to my thing of showing off that I said earlier. One of the reasons for it is that you can show off to other people. Look what I created. Or, look, this character is me. Or, look, I'm playing a fancy elf. I'm playing a fancy dwarf. I'm playing an orc.
What pisses me off that people spend money on customizations, like early in the game, and then, they are a new...
I do think that microtransactions have kind of killed part of customization.
It did.
Because a lot of people used to grind for that gear. It used to be an accomplishment. Which is why I said exclusive clothes and armor. Now, what took 40 to 100 hours in game?
You can just buy it.
Yeah, you can just buy it for $100.
Not even $100. It's like I think it's like $29.99 or some bullshit. You get like a bundle.
That depends on what game.
Yeah, you get a bundle.
I think it was like it depends on what game. There are certain options that cost that much.
It's one of those things like they sell the game and they just make money off you. And then they're like, oh, we're going to make more money. So we're going to hide some customizations from everyone and you can purchase it or you can work, 300 hours of gameplay to unlock it. And when some noob, that just started the game, can just purchase it.
Now, earlier you mentioned, you asked me about transmog. And I want to say like a couple of things before we go into anything. First of all, transmog is like a feature where players can change the appearance of like their items and armor to match something else that's more aesthetic.
Can you do that on Diablo?
I believe Diablo has some of it.
Because
I think it started in Diablo 3. I think they added it as a update feature.
Because a lot of people like using that because they don't want the enemy or the other player knowing what they have.
And when I say that it started in Diablo, I don't mean that transmog did. I mean,
oh, okay.
Like I mean, transmog in Diablo started in Diablo 3.
Oh, okay.
Where it actually started, from what I can tell, is World of Warcraft. Is the first game that I'm aware of that had transmog. The actual word stands for transmogrification, which is an old word meaning act of changing or being changed into a different form or appearance, which is what you're doing to your items and armor in game. I still think, like, I was impressed by it when Destiny 2 went to transmog, but even then it was behind kind of not necessarily a paywall, but a grind wall where you had to get certain items to transmog your armor. And that's how it is with a lot of different games. I think one of the best games for that is Hogwarts Legacy. Because you literally can transmog anything, and if you pick up any item in the game, it automatically adds it to the available options. So even if you sell off that item, you still have the ability to use it.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to,
I got you.
You don't have to use it as a sacrifice or keep it in your inventory or anything like that. And Hogwarts Legacy actually does have a lot of character customization as well as
What is
armors.
Hogwarts? What is Hogwarts Legacy? Is that a Harry Potter game?
It's a Harry Potter. It's the newest Harry Potter game that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I mean that would have helped
And
if you
it's
would have told me
actually-
that. I'm
it's
like
about-
listening to you. I'm like,
It's about a character who has these ancient magic powers and ends up being found and taken to Hogwarts to. There's a whole story behind.
is that game good?
Pretty good, but yeah, what do you think about transmog?
I think the people that use them are the people that trying to hide what they have. So when they do PvP, they can just fuck the other player over.
I don't think that's necessarily the case. I mean, that is one option, but for me, it's the fact that I aesthetically like a certain armor choice.
Yeah, I know. I
Or
see that.
clothing choice.
I know what you're saying because there's many times where I would pick up like a upper chest plate or whatever, and it just ruined the way my character looked.
You could always tell somebody who's grinding on Destiny because they just have the most random armor because they just keep picking up shit. With
Dang, that's
different
me.
power levels.
That's me right there.
It's always the next power level, the next power level up, the next power level up. That's how you have to grind in that.
Hey,
game.
you're calling me out on everything because that's what I did. I used to do that shit, and I was just like try to hide.
And people would know that you were grinding because you would have just the most random ass shit. Because high level people would always have the best gear already.
and it always matched.
Yeah, and it always matched. Even when I was playing, and this is something that I
Purple
wish
leg plates.
Guild Wars 2 actually did have, I believe it does have transmog now. The original, as much as I love the armor from the original Guild Wars, it actually had great armor, but it didn't have transmog or anything. Some of the other games that have transmog are like Horizon Forbidden West, World of Warcraft, obviously,
Right.
Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I've
Wait,
played.
I didn't know they had customizations on that.
It had, I believe it had transmog, which means you could the different outfits you can wear. You can customize them to look however you need.
Yeah, but like when you look at games like Bloodborne, Dark Souls, all that, you can customize your characters too.
Customize, yes, but can you? But can you? But can you use the weapons like that? Like, can you use one item skin on another weapon?
No,
I don't know if you can or not because I haven't played it.
I don't think so. Like
This also isn't the entire list. This is just a list of games I know about.
yeah, but what I like about like certain games like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, that like when you start out in the game, you customize your character, then you have to die because no matter what, you gotta die, right? And then when you go to that little island or whatever, you talk to this fucking woman, and she's like, "All right, here's your choice. You have 3 different choices. You can either pick, a cleaver, a cane, or something, and you pick what option you want to go for, and depending on what you pick, can reflect the game later on."
There's an achievement for dying in Dark Souls.
Yeah,
It's listed as an embarrassing achievement.
I got it.
Only if it's the only achievement you have. Because what that tells people is that you started the game up, you died, and then you quit.
Yeah, I got that achievement.
But do you have any other ones?
No.
So you quit.
Yeah, I quit.
Going on a slightly different topic here.
All right.
What's your opinion of games like God of War, Last of Us, Deus Ex, and like other games where
You don't customize your character?
Yeah.
So it depends. I like them because it's like watching a movie. You're watching a movie and you're playing a game. I really enjoy it. Like when they did that Last of Us on HBO, I really highly enjoyed it because they actually portrayed it, the same way as a video game.
It is a good point that like it's more like a movie than it is like a role playing game.
And that's what I'm like.
but
bigger into. Like I was always big in single player games. Like I was always big in Tomb Raider and stuff like that, Dead Space, stuff like that. You know, like I'm not trying to portray like character what's it called, a customization of characters, because I wanted to play as this person instead, you know, me being in the game.
I mean, I guess because there is a difference with those games.
Look at Master Chief, you know, like from Halo.
Yeah.
Why would you customize yourself to be Master Chief? You know, he's already a badass.
I mean, they did come out with a game that did have some level of customization.
Yeah, I know, but you
because
know, Halo
instead of Master Chief, it was just the other Spartan.
Yeah, I think it was Halo Reach. But the problem is, like, people want to remember, you know, like people are our age, you know, being in their 30s, mid 30s and up, they want to remember Master Chief and not customize themselves as, you know, a Spartan.
I think that there's like two different things here. One, you got characters where you make the choices in the game.
I like that, like Mass Effect.
And like when you make the choices in the game, it's a lot more impactful if it feels like you're the one making the choices or you're playing a character that's making the choices. Whereas if you're playing a game where it's solidly one character, you're not the one that's making the choices, that character is. You're detached from it. You're watching from behind the scenes, but you're controlling the avatar of the character.
Yeah. But I just enjoyed just the storyline, you know, of games. That's why I was always big in like single player games. I was never that big in like multiplayer games. Like, well, I did play Battlefield. I got big in that just because I had friends to play Battlefield with. But if I was to play Battlefield, Call of Duty, all that, all by myself, I would not want to play them. I'd rather just stick with a single player game.
Now, I did find a quote from Reddit that actually encapsulates your view on character on customization. It says, honestly, as much as I get the appeal of a character creator, I always find myself just wanting to get on with playing the game, not spending hours trying to adjust individual items, placements, layering, or adjusting the thickness of each axis per limb. I mean, they pretty much hit every point you did.
Yeah. It really did. And actually, I like that guy already, you know. I like customization on weapons. Like when you're playing like Call of Duty and stuff, you can put a forward grip on it. You can put a, you know, vertical grip. You can put a flashlight on it. You can put a red dot on it. You can put a, you know, stock on it. You can put, you know, folding stock. You can do all kinds of stuff.
I mean,
and actually, every single one of these customization on weapons is beneficial. Compensators, they work, you know.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I'm not exactly for first person shooters here, but even in the games I play, customization, like different enchantments on armors or different stats on armors and stuff like that, or different gem sockets in like games like Diablo or Path of Exile, they all make a difference in how you play and what you play, along with the skills that you get and use in those types of games. I think that type of customization, although not quite what people think of as character customization, is impactful to the game.
I want to touch point on skills. You ever heard of a skill tree?
Yeah, I have.
Like what I like about skill trees, like it's kind of like Civilization. Like when you're like upgrading your civilization, you have a skill tree. You discover something, and then you know you can discover.
In that game, there's two different.
Yeah, it's complicated
research
as fuck.
And culture.
Yeah, it's complicated as fuck. But I like games that have a skill tree. Like you know you. Well, let's say for example, I'm not talking about like you know Civilization itself. I'm just talking about the skill tree.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that you can like pick what branch you want off that skill tree and actually make the character the way you want it to fight.
Yeah. I think Path of Exile has a good one for that. Final Fantasy has that a lot. I remember Final Fantasy X-2 had this whole spawning thing.
Yeah, but that game.
Now my question is, for games like Skyrim, do you consider that a skill tree? Because every skill has a different section you add points
Yes,
to?
yes and no. They were like trying to start it out with the skill tree, and then later on it got bigger with the skill
It's
tree.
more like a skill bar graph.
Yeah, I would go with that one.
Because that's also like how Fallout does it too.
Yeah, because before that game, that was Oblivion, and they didn't even have that.
It's interesting how a lot of skill trees have like interlocking things where you can unlock this, and you can branch off down here or up here for different paths in the skill tree.
Yeah, like you can get like okay, for example, with the skill tree, in the beginning of the game, you can either choose +2 damage or +2 defense. Then whatever you pick, it'll, like you say, you pick offensive, like with the attack with the sword, then that branches off to 4 different portions.
I think the difference here is that there are like a branching skill tree or like the bar graph style where you just increase your levels in whatever skill you want.
But I like the skill trees that actually interlock eventually, where you can actually skip all the defense ones and meet up.
I think Diablo's good for that too.
Yeah, Diablo does that. If you want to talk about customization, look at Dead Space. You can customize your weapons. You can, do whatever you want. You can add more damage to it. You can add more accuracy. And then you can tilt your weapon, like your plasma cutter. You can tilt left and right, and you can shoot vertical and horizontal. There you go. People didn't know you can do that till they got like halfway in the game. I didn't even know that.
It kind of sucks when games don't exactly tell you about.
Well, yeah, there was like I just happened to drop my controller one time, and it like moved my thing like over, and I was like, "What the fuck? You can do that?" And I'm like, I've been going through this whole game not knowing that you can tilt a plasma cutter like that.
Destiny technically had weapon customization, but most of it was random rolls. Like you had to get like 100 of the different types of weapons to get the customized version you wanted. It freaking sucked. It was basically RNG based customization on their weapon.
Yeah, because I got me a PS5. I actually got back into gaming and stuff, and I don't really have much games, but I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege, and now the first thing I want to do is customize my weapons. Like I actually spend more time customizing weapons than I do my person itself.
In general, recap your opinion on character customization?
I enjoy it, but just don't make it like overcomplicated with, people that normally don't spend about 60 hours a week playing a video game.
My opinion is that it's pretty much beneficial for a lot of different games, a lot of different reasons, including like inclusion and self-identification in the game and even showing off a little bit. So I think that more games should probably include it. But I do see your point that sometimes it can be daunting.
Well, I mean, like over the years, like Call of Duty never even did customization, when they first started, online, PvP stuff, And then, Fortnite didn't like even start out with like, customizations either. And throughout the years, we're like, people are enjoying it better if we add customizations, and that's why they did.
That was one of the reasons I think I mentioned is the fun and enjoyment of a game.
Yeah, it does really help. But no matter what, no matter how much customizations they put in, like a new game I buy, my character is always going to look stupid because his eyes are always going to be like right up to the nose because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, with that said, I've been CRollur.
And I'm Willy.
Thank you for watching the podcast.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. How do I want my dick to hang? Do I want a permanent boner or you can use it as a compass?
What?
Like if you have
Oh my god.
Like east, west, north, south, there you go.